Mm-hmm. I bet. Just a minute. It lives, I see. Do you want to speak with Lolita? I'm sorry, but Gabriel is allowed. Oh, I mean, he's out. Yeah, if he ever comes back, I'll tell him. You know, you could do better. I know I don't know you, but you could do better. Good morning. The phone's been ringing off the hook all morning. Let me know when you want your messages.
Yeah.
Gee, you're lively. Did you have another nightmare last night?
Sort of.
Mm-hmm. I told you it's that voodoo book you're researching. That stuff can seriously screw up your karma.
I'm sure that's it. Maybe I should write a horror novel on passive resistance instead.
So don't sleep. It's your body. Anyway, your handheld tape recorder came today.
Really? Great.
I can't wait to see what human rights you violate with this one.
I can't wait to violate them. For example, if you would just let me...
And I located some local voodoo references for you. Dixieland Drugstore and the Historical Museum of Voodoo. Both are right here in French Quarter.
How would I ever manage without you?
You? Give me a break. The devil himself couldn't change you.
Well, if the devil had great legs, perhaps. Like yours.
And a riveting personality, I'm sure. Well, if you need any more research done, just ask. It's not as though we're swamped with customers.
Mind if I borrow the...
No, Sherlock. Just bring it back when we get the next estate shipment.
No problem. I'm going to take the tweezers for a bit.
Good. You're beginning to look a little scruffy.
Just trying to make you feel at home.
Times Pixelhunt, dated June 18, 1993. The front page has an article about the voodoo murders. The article says that the victims are all identified as members of the underworld. The general public of New Orleans is in no danger. Police claim the so-called voodoo trappings found at the crime scenes are fake, a scare tactic, and that the murders are not associated with any genuine practitioners. Gabriel also scans the Aquarius horoscope for the day. Potential storms ahead. Proceed with caution and do not get involved with anything new at this time.
Right.
That shelf holds used copies of the Dime Striped series, secrets of unsolved ancient UFO mysteries and such. They just the latter provide. The chandelier is original. Alright. The top shelf contains a set of German books that once belonged to Gabriel. That shelf, they just leap out. They just leap out the door. The book, 3 snakes in a skull. Gabriel's father painted it.
What a...
The books on the desk all need repair work. Old medical reference. The books on the table. If Gabriel...
I might need a flashlight. I'll take this hair gel. You never know when you'll need a touch.
It's certain. Gabriel, wishful, wish. It's the Gabriel. Oh,
I trust you can live without this old gift certificate.
Knock yourself out.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I didn't know much of anything about it until you started researching it for your book. Now I know that it's active in the city. There's that shop and museum. It can clearly be dangerous in the wrong hands. You should be careful investigating it.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Just what I read in the paper, same as you.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
Well, I've only been here 2 months, but I love it. It's so much more alive than any place I've been. It feels like anything's possible here.
Tell me about yourself, Grace.
Yeah, right, Knight.
I mean it.
What do you want to know?
How come we haven't gone out yet?
I'm still waiting around for that lobotomy. As soon as I get it, I'll let you know.
How do you like working at St. George's Books?
Well, it's not exactly a huge intellectual challenge. Although the math in your record books could confuse Einstein. Still, I love old books, and it's a nice way to pay the bills while I explore the city for a summer. If you ever pay me, that is.
What do you do after work?
Well, I either go to my oil painting class or my Tai Chi. You know that.
You know, you can go overboard with this improving yourself stuff. You don't want to alienate us mere mortals.
I suppose I should just allow my mind and body to atrophy.
Works for me. How old are you?
Old enough to know about men like you.
Just tell me.
I just got my master's in history and classics. My folks wanted me to go on right away for my PhD, but 18 years of school was enough. I needed a break.
Just tell me anything.
I came to New Orleans because I'd read so much about it, and I thought, spending a few months here would clear my head.
Just tell me.
I've always wanted to do something really adventurous, Something real life. I'm sick of libraries and lecture halls.
Just tell me anything.
My folks are traditional Japanese. I don't even remember Japan myself. I was 3 when we came to the States.
Just tell me.
I've been studying Tai Chi for 10 years. It's a very spiritual discipline. I'm sure discipline of any...
Just tell me.
My folks want me to get married to a boy back east. Mark Kobayashi. His parents are traditional Japanese too. I might eventually, but right now...
Just tell me.
I just got my master's.
Nothing I get.
Suit yourself.
Do you have messages for me? Toss them.
Okie dokie. There's
Do you have more?
your grandmother called.
I keep meaning to get over there. What does she say?
She sounded great, and we had a nice little chat about you.
Great.
Don't worry. I didn't go into detail about your cardinal sins. Not that anything about you could surprise her. She adores you anyway.
She's my girl.
But she said to remind you to stop by and go through your father's things.
Do you have more messages for...
Here's a strange one. You got a call from someone named Wolfgang Ritter? He said he was calling from Germany.
Call Germany. Like hell. If it's really important, he'll call back.
Well, fine. Let's just hope he's not with the German lottery for pitiful American authors.
Do you have more messages?
Your friend Detective Mosley called. Talkative, isn't
Especially with you. What do you want?
he? He left an interesting message.
Fascinating.
And that he left some photos for you at the station. At the front.
It's about time.
Gabriel, those photos wouldn't have anything to do with the...
Now, why would you say something like that?
Because I know you. You're getting
A writer has certain obligations.
Gabriel, you know you'll never put him in your book. Your main character is a female orthodontist. You're gonna be reincarnated as a pit bull if you keep screwing with your karma.
As long as it's a male pit bull with a really big...
That's enough. Thanks. Anyway, that's all the messages.
Could you do...
Sure. What?
I can't think of it.
Okay.
Gabriel Knight.
I've got some things I need to do.
Have fun.
Gabriel, I'm so glad you stopped by.
Sorry it's been a while, Grandma.
Not at all. Give us a kiss. Now come and sit down. Tell me how you're doing.
Can we talk, Gran?
Of course, my boy.
What can you tell me?
Voodoo? What an odd question. Of course, you always were interested in monster movies and all that other weird stuff. You get that from your father and Grandma. I don't know anything about it, dear. Of course, it was very big in New Orleans at one time, but you don't hear about it too much else in the world to worry about, I guess.
What do you know?
Oh, Gabriel, nothing. And I...
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
New Orleans is very southern. Of course, though, not as much as it used to be when I was a girl. It's gotten much more influenced by the East Coast and that California stuff. Still, it hasn't changed as much as other places, I reckon. We've always been happy here.
Tell me about...
Me? Oh,
Oh, come on, Gran. What do you do? You're not... Tell me about the fall you met Granddad.
well, you know I was born Rebecca Wright. My daddy owned a lot of land outside of town. It was a good childhood, but my father was very strict. He didn't...
Tell me how you...
I met Harrison at a church revival. There was a traveling preacher back then, a big fella named Reverend Jim. I even remember his slogan, "Come to me to find your way." Your granddad was sitting right behind me and my girlfriend Alma, and at one point, old Reverend Jim was flinging his hair around with his fire and brimstone antics, and a piece of it, one of those small we both started laughing to beat the band. Everyone looked at us like we were a couple of loonies. It was then I knew that he was
How you feeling these days?
fit as a fiddle, and don't you worry your head about it.
Just tell me...
I had your father when I was 22. The doctors told me I couldn't have any more after him, so I'm afraid I spoiled him rotten.
Just tell me...
I never loved any man but...
Just tell me...
I hate to admit it, but I was a jealous little thing when your granddad and I were younger. I loved him so for...
Just
I get lonely sometimes, but I have lots of girlfriends in the neighborhood.
Just tell me.
I wish you'd settle down and give me a great-grandchild.
Oh, great. Just tell...
I had your father when I...
Oh. Tell me about our family.
Who would you like to hear about? Your granddad, your father, or your mother?
Tell me something about Granddad.
He worked his way through...
Tell me...
Your granddad supported me and your father with bookkeeping. Me?
Tell me some...
Harrison was only 36 when he died. Your father was 8 years old at the time. Your granddad was hit by a streetcar in the business district. Took me nearly a year.
I'm sorry,
I know.
Tell me some...
Did you know that your granddad was a poet? He was! He wrote the most... I always thought he should have done something with that gift. But
Tell me something...
I don't know what else to tell you.
Tell me about my father.
Your father was my only child. Philip suffered from terrible nightmares, just like your granddad did. They were 2 peas in a pod.
Tell me about my father.
When Philip met your mother, it was love at first sight. They were married 2 weeks later. Never looked at a girl seriously until then. And he looked at you. Have your father's way with women, Gabriel. And your granddad's.
Tell me about my father.
I wanted to just lay down and die when he and your mother were killed in that car crash when you were only 8. It was the thought of taking care of you that kept me going, Gabriel. The police say your father swerved off the road after being frightened by something. Perhaps a deer in the road or...
Tell me about...
Your granddad wanted Philip to have a normal life. He was obsessed by that thought. He pushed Philip to go to law school. Philip was driven. He painted almost in a daze. He would get so...
Tell me about...
He always hated it that it was Margaret's money that supported the 3 of you when his painting couldn't. I kept telling him, try something more cheerful, like a landscape or 2. But he couldn't do it. His work was just too dark and...
Tell me about...
I don't know what else...
Tell me about...
Your mother was Margaret Templeton when your father met her. She came from a very wealthy Creole family in New Orleans. She was beautiful and reckless. She was madly in love with your father, of course. But since you're so interested in family history these days, why don't you go by St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 and visit the family tomb? It would be a sweet gesture.
Maybe I will. Tell me about...
Your mother's family refused to give her money after the marriage. All she had left was a modest trust fund from a great-aunt, who happened to like Philip. The remainder of your mother's trust fund became yours when she died. That's what you used to open your bookshop.
Tell me about...
The Templetons are all gone now. Every last one of them. They never wanted anything to do with us, of course.
Tell me about...
I don't know.
You know, you get prettier every time I see you.
No, dear. But you let me know when you want some, and I'll...
You've lost weight.
Oh, Gabriel, don't be silly. You know there'll never be anyone but your granddad for me.
Your hair.
Oh, my, thank you, dear. So...
You know, I always tell people that my gran is the prettiest grand old belle in...
Oh, dear.
You know, you get pretty... I'm going to go up to the attic, Gran.
Be careful of the dust.
I think I'll take Daddy's sketchbook with me.
Gabriel does... Gabriel doesn't want it. Gabriel can't operate the clock that way. The ring. Gabriel can't. The hands do not appear to have any mechanical function other than to move. Nothing happens. Gabriel can't operate the... Gabriel can't Gabriel... Gabriel can't operate the hand. Why move that part of... Why move that part of the clock?
Granddaddy, you old fox.
The old photograph showed Gabriel's grandfather with two other men. The letter is addressed to Heinz Ritter, whoever that is. Gabriel looks fondly at his father's sketchbook. Images haunt the pages of Philip Knight's sketchbook. The way the letter is written in German. The letter is addressed to mein Sohn, one of the recurring words. The only thing that Gabriel can decipher about the letter is a sense of urgency in the handwriting, and there is not the state.
That's it. Take a load off, huh?
Can we talk, Gran?
Of course, my boy.
Have you ever heard of a...
Schottenjäger? Schottenjäger? How odd, Gabriel. I haven't heard that word. My goodness, you've given me a chill. Your granddad used to say that sometimes in his sleep.
Really? Do you know what it means?
No, I'm afraid not. I asked him about it once. I don't think he answered me. Odd.
Do you know anyone named Heinz Ritter?
Heinz? Oh, Gabriel.
I found a letter in Granddaddy's clock.
I promised I'd never tell you or your father. But I suppose it doesn't matter now.
Tell me, Gran.
Your granddad's name was Heinz Ritter before he came to America. He changed it to Harrison Knight legally when he arrived.
Why did Granddad change it?
I don't know. I tried to ask him about his family, his life before America, but he didn't want to talk. Never even told me about his name change. I found out one day when I saw his, since he obviously found it painful. I never...
Didn't Granddad ever say anything about his past or...
Only that his family was crazy, and that he never wanted to see them again. He believed in some family curse, thought that he could spare Philip and Philip's children from what he called old nightmares. Whatever Harrison wanted to spare you, though, it cost him plenty. He never did sleep well, and he was wrestling with something he thought he should be doing, someplace he thought he ought to be. I don't know how he could think that he should be anywhere but with me and our child. It's a terrible way to live.
Do you know anything else about Heinz Ritter?
I've told you all I know.
Well, Gran, I better get going.
All right, dear.
I can't resist black.
Nothing on that. Nothing on.
Well, you never know when a priest's collar... Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
What can you...
Me? Nothing. I'm a
What
I'm not allowed to give out information on
What can you...
I'll tell you, I'm glad as hell it's not Mardi Gras. If it weren't for that 1 month a year, being a cop in New Orleans would be a real pleasure. As it is, I'd rather stick behind it.
Have you...
Can't say that I have, but it's some...
Tell me about you.
Who, me? I'm the desk sergeant
Rick?
That's right. You got a...
Not at all. I'm here to see Detective...
He's out at a crime scene.
Where's the crime scene?
Crime scene information is police confidential. We don't need any more looky-loos than are probably already there.
Come on.
Look, I know the paper's got everybody stirred up about these killings, but that don't make it public information. Back off.
So this is a new voodoo murder then?
Hey, I didn't say that. You'll read all about it in the papers tomorrow, I'm sure.
I was supposed to pick up some photos from Detective Mosley at the front.
Is that right? And who are you?
My name is Knight. Gabriel Knight.
Yeah, I got something for you, all right. Soon as you're done talking, up. Here's that envelope for you, Gabriel Knight.
Thanks.
The envelope has The envelope Gabriel owned 2 photographs. The photograph. One of the photos from Mosley is the photograph of Mosley was apparently taken upon his graduation.
Homicide team attend.
Gabriel probably could. That wouldn't work. He seems to...
Well, I never! Leave me alone, you man! Hey, stop!
You white-faced geek! You want to eat my fist?
That there is...
Why, you nasty thing.
Hey, stop picking on me! I'll tell my dad!
Gabriel, it seems that wouldn't work.
Hey, cut that out. I told you to stop that. All right, mister. You want...
Gabriel picks up the...
Ambulance 911, have you located the crime scene? They've radioed for you 3 times.
Damn! Did you say it was north of the Lake Retreat Country Club?
South, Lakeside Drive north of Piedmont Pier, south of the country club.
Man, I don't know if it's the clouds out here today or what. Good thing this guy's already dead.
Everyone's having trouble. Must have been hallucinogens in the coffee this morning.
It's just so misty out here or something. Hey, I see a squad car. Got it, Molly.
Thank God. Have a good one, 911.
Interesting.
Stupid mime. Hey, you! Get away from that bike.
Sorry.
The crime scene team is still at the site. Gabriel parks a bit out of the way and walks over to avoid adding to the general confusion.
Hey, mostly.
Huh? Knight, you wiener, I told you not to call me that.
Feeling jumpy?
Who, me? Don't be stupid. How'd you find me?
Oh, I was just driving by.
Well, for the book. But don't tell anyone I let you see this, huh? It's another one, as you can see. Same MO and no frickin' clues. We're still waiting on an ID for the body.
That's disgusting. Isn't this a rather, public area for this kind of thing?
Yeah, they're frickin' ghosts, these guys. Lakeshore Drive isn't exactly the 10 expressway, but it is open to the public. No reports and nothing. Now, who the hell is that? Good day, Miss Getty.
What's going on, officer?
Detective Mosley, ma'am. We've got a little problem here, but nothing for you to be concerned about, Miss Getty.
I see. Thank you, detective. And good day, gentlemen.
Whoa, I'm in love.
Forget it. That's Molly again. She's about as far out of your reach as the moon. Probably on her way to meet some guy with a yacht right now.
Near here?
The lake's a popular place for country clubs.
If she's out here a lot, maybe she saw something or heard something.
Man, nobody ever sees or hears nothing. I told you. Besides, you just don't go around bothering people like her.
We've about wrapped it up, sir. It's another clean sweep.
Yeah, let's get the meat wagon moving then.
Do you want to leave an officer here, sir?
Nah, just leave the tape up for a few days.
Yes, sir. If you'll excuse us, sir, we'll take him away.
Stick around and take notes for the book if you want. Watch out for the muck in the water moccasins, though. I'll be back at the station. Stop by if you want to go over the cake.
Thanks.
Images hot. Gabriel. There is nothing to. There seems to be a pattern to the, but if there is a pattern, it's smeared. There's only one small area that's clear. Patches of grass have managed to survive. The grass has a matted appearance there. Out! Those two objects.
Let me try to get this down.
The partial pattern from the crime scenes. The partial pattern. One of the photos from Mosley. One of the photos from Mosley is an official. Patches of grass have managed to survive life. The marks are part of the grass and do not. Gabriel doesn't need any grass. Why use that? There's nothing. There doesn't seem to be anything unusual. There are marks in the grass, as though some heavy wire. Gabriel carefully uses the tweezers to take the small iridescent scale.
Is that clay? Yuck! Phew, it's humid out there. Made it back though.
The excitement of seeing you is killing me.
Got a minute, Grace? Have you?
No.
I don't think so. It's just...
No, but it has a nice ring.
Do you know anything about
Doing a family tree, Gabriel?
very funny? I mean real snakes. You know, scaly, cold-blooded. I would have thought you'd find them empathetic.
I know very little about reptiles of any kind and prefer to keep it that way. I think there's a...
Okay. Could you do some research for me?
Sure, what?
Could you see what you can find out about a woman named Malia Getty?
The name Getty sounds familiar. What's your interest in her?
Oh, just, you know, stuff about the voodoo murders. If you could get an address...
They're murders. Right. I'll see what I can find out. Anything else?
I can't think of it.
Okay. Well... it's about closing time.
So it is. Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gabriel. And try not to dream, okay? Good morning. Don't you look swell today? Actually, swollen.
Oh.
So have some. There's a fresh pot on the table. Seriously, you look like hell. Your hair is sticking straight up like a... Oh, it always does that. Never mind.
Ha ha.
Did you dream about the fire and the hang guy and that lion thing last night?
Leopard, not lion. Did you get anything on Malia Getty?
Well, I did get her address, but you're a little out of your league here, big fella. The Gettys own 3 local hospitals, just to name a few of their assets. They run in very high circles.
Did you get an address?
I got the address. I suppose this has nothing to do with the fact that Malia Getty is incredibly gorgeous. I should have known you wouldn't go for a rich, ugly socialite.
And that address is...
Hey! Far be it from me to postpone your total humiliation. It's 557 West England. That's the Garden District, Estate City.
That's all I wanted to know. And yes, my dear, Malia Getty is the most dangerous-looking diversion I've ever seen. Ouch!
Oy, men.